How to make your husband respect you? You know, this is one of those questions that you hear many times in so many different ways and varieties, but it always comes down to the same thing. And my number one response to this is always, well, first of all, you need to start respecting yourself. And that's a little bit confronting, right? Because like you think you respect yourself so deeply, so therefore everyone else should respect you. But there's a very high chance that you really don't respect yourself to the highest standards. So the first thing that you need to do is you really need to raise your standards. And the way how you do that is like, one, obviously you need to get very clear about your own value system. You need to get very clear, like, what is it that you like? What is it that you accept? What are all the things that you clearly are not okay with? Your big non-negotiables. If you don't know that, if you don't know how you want to be treated, then it's going to be very challenging for someone else to know that. Which brings me to today's sponsor. If you're stuck, lost, or confused when it comes to your relationship with men, and you don't know how to communicate your needs to him in a way that makes you feel seen, loved, and heard, then you must see this. Since every woman's personality and circumstance is so unique and so special to you, we have a free relationship assessment quiz that you can take in the link below. That quiz will give you a customizable action plan to give you the love that you deserve, because you're worthy of it and you do deserve it so much. So take our free relationship assessment quiz right now, and now back to the video. Now on top of that, you need to be able to communicate very clearly all of these things that I just mentioned. If you can't communicate that clearly, and if you can't set boundaries properly, and then also follow through with consequences, here's the thing that usually happens. Let's say you have this boundary of like, you don't want your husband to cheat or to, be physically abusive or even verbally abusive to you. But then it happens. And you set this boundary very clearly. And then it happens again. And then maybe you say it again. And then it happens again and again and again and again. And there's never a consequence. The message that you're putting out there, the message that you're sending to him is like, yeah, okay, you're communicating these boundaries. You don't want him to yell at you. But then he does it over and over again, and there are no consequences. So what that means is like, well, she says this is not okay with her. But when I do that, actually there's no consequence. Meaning it's really not a big deal for her. So therefore he keeps doing it. Because why would he respect your boundaries if you don't even respect your own boundaries? And I know this sounds a little bit harsh and it sounds a little bit confronting to hear, but it's so important to understand this. If I don't respect my own boundaries, how can I expect someone else to respect my boundaries? That's just a big no-no. It doesn't work that way. So this is the first thing that you can do. If you want your husband to respect you, you need to start respecting yourself. You need to increase your value system. You need to increase your self-worth, your confidence, your strength. And when things are really not okay, you're standing up for yourself. Another thing that's really important is if you want your husband to respect you, is like you need to show appreciation and gratitude for him and anything that he does for you and for the family and for the partnership and in his life. The big ones and the small ones. Anything and everything is okay. You just want to show him that appreciation, that gratitude. If you don't do that, then why would he have a bunch of respect for you? That becomes very challenging too, right? If you constantly have someone around you and that's your romantic partner and they don't appreciate you and they never communicate how much they care for you and how much gratitude and how grateful they are for you, then it's a little bit a challenging situation for anyone. You also want to support his goals. And yet you also want to pursue your own goals and have your own dreams and gonna move forwards towards them. So the reason why you need to support his goals is because at the end of the day, our partner is supposed to be our biggest cheerleader. The one that's like always there to support us. The one that's always there to cheering us on. The one who's always there, who's really helping us to achieve those dreams, to achieve those goals. Otherwise, why am I having this person in my life when they're not uplifting me? So therefore, this is such an easy thing we all can do. Man to women, women to man. We need to support each other in all areas. If I have these dreams, let's say I want to go skydiving and I want to have my own skydiving license, but all I'm hearing from my wife is that she doesn't like it, that she's not supportive, and she's actually like diminishing me in whatever kind of way it may be, then that doesn't make me feel good. Another really, really important piece for you to integrate if you really want your husband to respect you is you need to be in control and in charge of your own emotions. You need to take responsibility for everything that happens in his life rather than using him as a punching bag for everything that happens in your life. You know, all these external circumstances, or even with him, if you use him to emotionally just like offload all your stuff and you're getting angry, you're getting upset, and there are fights here, and then there's not this okay there, and you're blaming him and everything else, and like I said, he basically becomes your punching bag. There's not going to be much respect that he's going to show you because clearly you're not showing him the same respect either. So, support his goals, and yet at the same time pursue your own goals and dreams as well, and make sure you take responsibility and you don't use them as a punching bag. Another piece that really works really well for men, because we like structure, we like consistency. So therefore, if you maintain the trust and you be consistent in your actions, then that's going to show him how you treat and value and appreciate him. So therefore, he's also going to respect you so much more. If someone is consistent in their actions, if there's no like, okay, today she's like this, tomorrow she's like this, I never really know, and it becomes like kind of like this big magic box where you never know, to a certain degree that might be nice, but in the essential things of life and in the relationship, there needs to be consistency. There needs to be consistency in the way how you act and treat him, and the way how you behave towards him, and like, you know, his friends, and in the relationship, and in your life, and as well as his life. And with that, you're gonna gain a lot of trust, and that's also how you maintain trust. On top of that, even if you might not agree with his choices or his opinions or his decisions, you still respect them. Now this brings me back to this like emotionally offloading or just being disrespectful just verbally towards him. That's not gonna fly. That's never gonna fly with a good man. A good man that holds himself to certain standards that you want him to hold himself to, but then you don't do the same, it's not gonna work. So you need to respect his opinions. Very important. And if you do these things, you respect yourself, you raise your own standards, you hold yourself accountable to these standards, you set boundaries. If those boundaries are not being respected, there are going to be consequences. You know, you appreciate and you show a lot of gratitude for him, for the big ones and the small things in life. And you support his goals and pursue your own ones as well. So there's like some sort of independency in you, and you're feeling inspired by him, so therefore you're also pursuing your own things, and then you maintain trust and you're consistent in your actions. That's gonna tremendously impact the way how he's gonna look at you, and there's so much more respect towards you and towards this relationship that you're going to experience and explore with that man together moving forward.